Hello and welcome to today's video. This is going to be my October TBR, which is very exciting because it's picking the books for the spooky month, my favourite month, and a really just nice month. It's also me coming back. I've taken all of September off. I've really relaxed. I've really tried to sort myself out. I've got absolutely nothing done, but my body feels more in line. I don't feel like I'm about to burn out. Everything feels a lot better. So really glad that I took the month of September off. This is the second video that I'm filming this month. You will have seen my wrap up much earlier in this month. But yeah, I'm filming my October TBR. We will once again be playing my Snakes and Ladders board game to pick the TBR. With this game, you simply have an 8-sided dice that you roll and you move around the board. I roll 5 times to get 5 prompts and therefore pick 5 books. If you land on a snake, you have to go down the board and add a roll. And if you land on a ladder, you get to go up the board and minus a roll. All of the different coloured squares relate to different prompts, and when you land on a certain colour square, you then pick up a prompt card. So for instance, if you were to land on a purple square, purple relates to visual prompts, so you would pick up the card on the top of the visual prompt pile. It's really simple. You'll definitely understand and get the basics as we move around. If you would like more information, up above in one of the corners I will link January's TBR game, where I go over the board and over the game in full detail. But you definitely don't need that. You'll catch along very quickly if this is your first time here, so don't worry about that at all. And I think that's it. I think that is literally everything that you need to know, so we can just get into it. I will first of all do all of the rolls on the board. I do have books that I'm trying to get into those rolls, which are books for year-long readathons that I take part in. And at the end of the video, after we've done all the rolls, I will tell you how I'm fulfilling my year-long readathons that I do take part in. So that's everything. Let's get into the rolls. Okay, roll number 1 is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've landed on square number 13, which is green. Green is an other prompt, and the prompt on the top of our stack is features royalty. Okay, yeah, fun. Definitely doable. I actually have a book in mind. So, roll number 1, we got other, and the other was features royalty, which, as I said at the time, I had a book in mind for straight away. I picked this book up earlier this year, so it is a relatively recent purchase. I think I got this 3 or 4 months ago, and that is The Queen of the Turling. Now, to be honest, I don't know much about this book, but I assume the main character is the Queen, or is going to be the Queen. I'm just going to read the back of this. It's the first book in a series, and I'm very excited about it, so let's read the back. It was on her 19th birthday that the soldiers came for Kelsia Glynn. They came to escort her back to the place of her birth, and to ensure she survived long enough to take possession of what was rightfully hers. But like many 19-year-olds, Kelsia is unruly, has high principles, and believes she knows better than her elders. Unlike most 19 years old, she is about to inherit a kingdom that is on its knees, corrupt, debauched, and very dangerous. Kelsia will either become the most fearsome ruler her kingdom has ever known, or be dead within the week. Now, I do know that this is an entire series, so I'm guessing she becomes a ruler, because I don't know how you would have continued the series if she dies. I'm also pretty confident it's came out when YA and adult were the only age options, but I've got a feeling it's kind of upper YA from what I've kind of seen online. I couldn't see a very thorough age rating for this, but it was published by Penguin Random House, and this came out in 2014. So, I'm going into this with a lot of hope, a lot of high hopes, a lot of hopefulness, I guess you'd say. I really do hope that I love this, and our main character is to be the Queen, and I would say that is featuring royalty. So, very excited for roll number 1. Roll number 2 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is on square number 20, which is a blue square. Blue is a game prompt, and the game prompt we've picked is random colour generator. Okay, I will get a random colour generator wheel out and spin. Okay, I found a random colour wheel on spinthewheel.app/colours. So let's give it a spin. Is that blue? Yeah, so we've landed on blue for our random colour. Okay, prompt number 2, we got game, and the game was a random colour wheel. As you'll have seen, I did use my phone and got the colour straight away as we were rolling, and the colour I got was blue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a book onto this TBR that has already been on a TBR this year, but I just really need to get to it and I haven't made time for it yet, and I really, really want to. Like, I'm really, really excited about this book, and I also want to read more by the author. This isn't the only book that I own by the author on my physical TBR, but it is the next one I need to read. And that book is The Glass Hotel. And as you can see, this is a very blue cover. I'd say it's predominantly blue with a bit of black and a bit of white. So yeah, definitely fulfills this prompt. So I'm going to go for it. I read Station 11 by Emily St John Mandel, and I've basically heard that you can read the books in any order. They are all standalones, but there are a few like Easter eggy bits in each one. So if you read them in the order of publication, you do get the most out of them. I have already put this on a TBR this year, so I won't go over the entire synopsis, but essentially this seems like a bit more of like an investigatory book than what Station 11 was, and there's a disappearance, so I think it is going to be more of like a mystery than a dystopian, but I'm still excited for it. I really, really love Station 11, so hopefully this one is just as good. Okay, on to roll number 3 is a 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 26, which is this orangey colour, and that is genre-ish. So this is genre or genre-adjacent things, and it is fantasy. Very nice and easy to do. Okay, roll number 3, we got genre-ish. This time it was an actual genre, and that genre was fantasy. So that is what we are picking up. And the fantasy I've decided to go for is one that I have actually owned for a fair few months now. I pre-ordered the paperback, so whenever the paperback came out, I think it might have been June, I've got it. But I made the mistake of not putting my library hold in for the audiobook until I'd got the paperback. But obviously the hardback had been out a while, so there was a wait for the library hold. So in October, my wait for the library hold will also come through, and I think the audiobook of this series is great. So that series is Amari, and the book that I'm going to be reading is Amari and the Despicable Wonders, which is the 3rd book in this series. A few years ago now, I think maybe 4 years ago, Amari and the Night Brothers came out, and it was a massive hit. This is a middle grade fantasy, but when I tell you, like, Amari and the Night Brothers, like, subverted like everything that you could possibly think of. Like, I've read a handful of middle grade fantasies and they've always been good, and I always thought like, oh, like if I had a child in my life that, like, you know, liked reading, I would definitely give this to them. But then when it came to the Amari, I'm like, no, look, I want to give this to everyone. Like, I think even adults would enjoy, like, I'm an adult, I mainly read adult books. Amari and the Night Brothers was 5 stars, and I feel like it's the kind of 5 stars where, like, it's a 5 stars regardless of age category, not because of the age category. I will say the second one, Amari and the Great Game, was, I think I gave it 4 stars in the end. It just wasn't quite as good as the first one, but a lot of second books aren't. And this is book 3, and I'm really excited to see how we get. And it feels like, just based off the cover, it's going to be more of a group thing this time, which is exciting to see and exciting to know about, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Obviously I can't read it back to you because book 3, but this is basically about Amari, who in the first book, her brother is missing and she gets an invitation to go to the same summer school as her brother used to go to. And when she gets there, she learns it's not just a summer school, it's actually the Bureau of Supernatural Investigations, and she's like training up to like potentially work for them someday, but at least learn about the supernatural. And we go from there with lots of action and adventure and fun times. So yeah, that is the fantasy book that I'll be adding to the TBR. Roll number 4, which will hopefully be our penultimate roll, is a 1. No longer our penultimate roll. Let's go down the snake. So we've landed on blue, but we are down to number 8. So picking up another game prompt, and our game prompt is, a wild card. Okay, that's not too bad. That's essentially a free pick. Then we have roll number 4, which, as you would have seen, we landed on a snake. So that does add roll. So this is now 4 or 6, not 4 or 5, but don't worry too much. Hint, hint. But yeah, roll number 4, we've got game. And the game was a wild card. This means I can basically pick anything. Like, it's a wild card. It's a free space basically. And the book I've decided to pick for this, I have honestly picked quite conveniently because this will fulfill 2 prompts for those year-long readathons that I was on about that I take part in. So 1 book, 2 prompts seems like a good bet for me, and that book is Scythe. Scythe is the first book in a dystopian series, a YA dystopian, that I don't know much about, but I do think it's going to be an interesting one. It's all about death and controlling death, and basically, from what I understand, in this world, people don't just die, dying of natural causes isn't a thing. So instead you have the scythes, and they essentially go and reap people, I believe. They literally go and are it's your time to die, and kill them. And we are following 2 apprentices, Citra and Rowan, who are there to learn the art of killing, and we are following them, learning all about this structure. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I really hope I enjoy it, because I do own the other 2 books in the series over here, so hopefully I love it. So yeah, exciting one. Okay, roll number 5, which is now hopefully our penultimate roll, is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, roll number 5 is our last roll. We've landed on a ladder, so let's go up the ladder. We've now made it up to square 53, which is purple, and purple is visual, and that was actually our final roll because we had gone up to 6, but landed on that ladder, made it down to 5, and that was on our 5th roll. So our final roll, visual, and the visual prompt is a bird on the cover. Lovely. Let's go for it. Okay, then what ended up being our last roll, because we landed on a ladder, so everything was okay, everything was all good, back down to 5 rolls, which 5 is a very manageable amount for me. 5 rolls means that there's also room for me to mood read every month. So yeah, I really like having a set TBR and then being able to add 2, 3, 4, sometimes even 5 additional books. So 5 rolls is what I like. And we got visual, and the visual prompt was bird on the cover, and honestly, I cannot believe how well this worked out. If this wasn't my game, I would think it was fixed, because there is a book that I have purchased to read in October, and I've purchased for a very specific reason. I am taking part in the R Fantasy bingo board, and I've been vlogging it, so I can link those vlogs up above. But essentially, one of the prompts on there is to read a book for the book club, and to do hard mode, you have to take part in the month that the book club is going on. So I've kept an eye out for every single book club, and so far, this started in April, there hasn't been one that I've been interested in. All the ones that I've been interested in, I've already read. So you only get 1 reread for the entire bingo board. So I was like, I don't want to waste that on the book club, because I don't know if I want to use that for a different square. But I eventually found one. This is a book that I think it is the Beyond Binaries? Yes, it is the Beyond Binaries book club. Will be returning in October with The Incandescent. So this is the first book that I've come across that I have really wanted to read. I knew nothing about it previous to this, but I've been, looking up every single book that's coming up every month and reading the synopses, and this sounds great. So let's just read it. So it says, Dr. Walden is the director of magic at Chetwood School and one of the most powerful magicians in England. Her days consist of meetings teaching A-level invocation to 4 talented, chaotic sixth formers, more meetings, and securing the school's boundaries from demonic incursions. Walden is good at her job. No, Walden is great at her job. But demons are masters of manipulation. It's her responsibility to keep the school, with its 600 students and centuries-old legacy, safe. But it's possible the entity Walden most needs to keep her school safe from is herself. That just sounds so good. Like a magic school vibe, but we're following the teachers, which I mean, obviously it might not work, but I just feel like this will hopefully give the magic school vibes that you still want, but make it feel more relatable, with it being I assume more my sort of age. So yes, that is the book, and as you can see, there is a massive bird on the cover. So yeah, no idea what this bird is. It is made out of smoke, but it is definitely a bird, so we are going for it. Absolutely great book to end on. And so happy I managed to fit it in. So these are all of the books that are on this month's TBR. This is the October TBR. How exciting. 5 books I'm really excited about. And honestly, I think I'm gonna like crush this TBR. I really do. I think that October's gonna. I'm gonna read all of these within a couple of weeks. Honestly, I think like I'm really genuinely excited about all of them. So let's move on. Let's move on. There are a couple of things to talk about still. The readathons, the year-long readathons I take part in. Let's talk about the buzzword and the buzz cover first, because I've already kind of touched on it. So the prompt for the buzz cover is to have a weapon on the cover, and then I believe the prompt for the buzz word, I can't remember exactly how it's worded, but it's essentially like a violent word, like a, I don't think it's actually like a weapon word. I think it's violent word is how it's worded. But either way, scythe. It fulfills both of them. There is a scythe on the cover, like this big, sharp weapon, and scythe is a violent word. So I'm going for it. This is what I'm going for. I'm intrigued. I'm excited. Hopefully it works. Then the other year-long thing that I take part in is the Year in Eldia. This is the readathon that runs along the magical readathon, and the prompt for October is debut. And it turns out that the Queen of the Turling is a debut, so this just seems very serendipitous. Like, I'm very happy about this, and I think it's worked out great. It's worked out absolutely great. I don't need to add any books to my TBR this month. If I'm being perfectly honest, I will definitely be reading Uncharmed. This has just come out, it has just arrived, and I can't wait to get to it. There's no chance I'm going to fit it into September, so this will definitely be getting read in October too, but I could not fit this in for any prompt. I suppose I could have done it for the wild card, but it's chosen now. It doesn't matter. So that is everything. I really do hope that you enjoy the video. I really do hope that you had a fun time. Did you take part? Have you got a TBR for October? What are you reading? Are any of the books that I'm reading books that you're reading? Are we doing an unintentional buddy read? Let me know down below in the comments. Do give the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!